Hi, everybody. It's Joy and Scott Anderson from Anderson Injury Law, and we are continuing our series on the most frequently asked questions. And today, I think I've got a pretty tough one for you. And that is if someone gets in an accident and they don't go to the doctor right away, how does that affect their claim, their lawsuit, the process?
Well, it is a good question. It's one that I can tell you there's going to be a lot of case by case understanding, meaning what happens is insurance companies are always going to argue any delay or gap in care is proof that someone is not injured, or at least is not injured because of the accident that they're claiming it's from. So you end up with a lot of people who will say things like, "Oh, I'll just see how it goes," or "I'm going to tough it out," or "I'm going to walk it off." A lot of those mentalities, while in I guess good human moral views, is a good way to live life because you're trying to actively get better. Every insurance company across the board is going to say that's not you just trying to be a good person. That's you showing that you're not actually hurt. So not getting to a doctor right away definitely hampers and hurts cases because that's something an insurance company is going to use against people. It does not mean it's the end of the case. The reason, and that's why I started with saying this is a case by case, fact intensive situation, is there are definitely cases where someone has a delay and is able to still recover after that delay. On an extreme case, I have had cases that have worked out where someone took 6 or 9 months between the accident and getting the start of care. I do not suggest that in any means because they are extremely difficult cases to be able to win and prove, but it does happen. A more common delay that is something that people can get past is a couple of weeks. Usually, when you're talking more than a couple of weeks, you have to have really good facts to be able to tie the injury to the accident. Otherwise, insurance companies' delay arguments usually prevail.
Let me ask you this as a follow up. Um, let's say, or do you recommend, like, if you get in an accident, even if you're not feeling anything right away, just go and get checked out? If the doctor says there isn't anything, and then a couple of weeks later it starts to show up, at least you've made the initial appointment. Is that beneficial?
There is benefit to going and get at least getting checked out right away, because what'll happen with at least most doctors is they're going to do a comprehensive exam, and that comprehensive exam will usually identify limitations or injuries that people didn't even realize they were dealing with. There are a lot of scientific research and studies based on looking at people who are hurt in accidents, and there's a lot of good indication that many people don't even realize how they're injured until weeks after an accident. That's actually something else insurance companies will try to do is at the scene of an accident, an officer will usually ask someone if they're injured. And it is extremely common for people to say, no, I'm not hurt, because you have adrenaline surging. You have all kinds of things that you
Right.
have no idea how you're feeling at the scene. But what an insurance company will do is they'll say, look, you didn't even say you were hurt at the scene of the accident. How could you possibly be hurt later on when you complain about it a few days later? But the scientific research has identified that many people don't have a clue if they're injured until a week or two after an accident. So when you ask, is it good to go get checked out? To me, the answer is yes, because what will happen is that if a doctor's doing a comprehensive exam, they're going to identify things where someone doesn't have the right range of motion. They fail orthopedic tests. Just to give you an idea, all of the, hey, hold your arms out, let me push down on your arm. Those are orthopedic tests to see if there are limitations that sometimes people don't even realize they're dealing with until a doctor does it to them. So, yes, I think going to a doctor just to get checked out is a good idea.
So we've covered a lot of questions. If people want to follow up, what's the best way to get a hold of you, make an appointment? How do they do that?
So the best way to get a hold of me is to call the office. The phone number for the office is 719-473-3040. Uh, you will get a free consultation where you meet with one of the attorneys here in the office, and we will spend usually about an hour, hour and a half with people, where it's a no pressure consultation. If people hear what we have to say and they like us, they can hire us. If they don't want to hire us, there's no pressure. They're free to leave at that point, and they will leave my office knowing significantly more about the specific facts of their case, things to look out for in their case. And so they'll get an hour and a half, hour of basically free legal advice to get going on their claims.
Well, I certainly appreciate your time because I think this information we provide is helpful to somebody who maybe has never been in an accident before and doesn't know what to do. They can jump on your YouTube channel and find out kind of like the first steps. The next video we're going to talk about is the top mistakes people make when they get in a car accident, which is kind of a follow-up to this video. So I will see you next time.
All right, we'll see you next time.